What you resist persists. That is basically the key theme of a lot of transformational spaces. It's about those things that we fight, ignore, or don't pay attention to tend to have more control and power over us than we would care to admit. So in a basic situation, it would be if you resist, resist owning your darkness, or owning that you have the potential and capacity to do horrible things within you, then it's possible that you're doing really horrible things to the people around you, but you don't have the awareness or the willingness to accept or see it within yourself. So that feels like a deeper example than I was intending, but I feel like when it comes to shadow work, if people are familiar with it, where you embrace your shadows and you own those dark parts of yourself that you're not proud of and don't like, sometimes that comes with a lot of healing for people, where they're like, oh my gosh, I thought it was so perfect and wonderful, and now I can see my capacity for these darker emotions and these heavier things that I wasn't willing to see before, that has like created space in my life to just accept myself as I am. And I'm Latia, and I would say that I've been on a journey my whole life trying to figure out, how can I live a good life? How can I show up strong? How can I not give in to the mediocrity that a lot of people seem to be willing to accept so easily? I've never been one for the status quo, or doing things the normal way, or doing things the easy way. As my cousin would always tell me, she was just like, why do you make everything so hard for yourself? If you would just shut up when your mom's mad at you, I'm sure she wouldn't punish you as harshly as she does. But it's because you keep talking back and arguing with her that now she feels like she has to like punish you and like set you straight. And I'm just like, all right. Because like she did it right before I was getting in trouble. I'm like, all right, cuz it's go time. I can do this. Like, I don't have to talk back. I can just listen. So I'm there, and my mom's chewing me out over something, I'm just like, yes, mom. Yes, I hear you. Oh, I need to come correct. Like, what was I thinking? And then I'm like, but wait, mom, why is it okay for you to think that you know what I think when I can't think what my sisters think, even though I'm quoting what you just told them? So you give them a lesson. I can't be the bearer of the lesson for them, but you can. Okay. That just want clarity. Like, why am I the one getting in trouble for this? And you're doing it too. That's cool. Glad you're a mind reader. That's fun. Yeah. So definitely wasn't like quiet in whatever the real conversation was. And then I like got in trouble. My cousin was just like, really, Latia? And I was just like, yeah, I'm not about that life. I've never been one to want to take the easy path. I've never really been one to be actually agreeable. I'm a very cantankerous, pugnacious sort of person. And being in a world where, as a Black woman, if you're pugnacious, if you're cantankerous, if you're provocative, if you're the opposite of everyone else, it feels more like it's a battle and a war, and I'm always the loser and no one's on my side. It just feels like I'm constantly fighting just everyone and everything just to feel like I exist, you know? And it's not always super deep. But it's just like, there are so many times where people hear a story that I share, or they'll learn something about me, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're just like me. We're the same. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, no, we're not. No, that's like one part of this whole human being that I am. I'm glad you resonate. I'm glad it feels familiar. We're all humans. There's a human element, but we're not the same person. Like, please don't think we're the same. And I don't do it out of a desire to be obnoxious or rude. Like, I'm not trying to be like, oh my God, stop thinking that we're similar. Like, that's no, you're this, like, we can't be. But it's more along the lines of, yes, we are similar and we have differences. And I feel like we act like these differences that we have are bad. Like, you know, your lack of experience with racism makes you a bad person, or makes you a good person, or makes you just unaware. Like, who knows what it means? It's just that there's a difference. And sometimes we just don't honor that there's a difference. Like, for me, it's hard for me to have to express to people, okay, I don't know what it is fully, but I do have an awareness that the more you bother me, the less I pay attention to you. it is just the natural thing that tends to happen. And I have not had a job where so many people are bugging me that I've actually like legit just kind of been like, no, I don't know how to deal with this. I just shut down. And like, that's where like, I know I have challenges, and part of me is like, okay, there's a skill set that I'm missing, where instead of me shutting down in these moments where it's like, I know what my truth is, I know what I would like to say, but I don't know how to trust you with it, because it's like, how difficult is it to be like, so there could be something wrong with me on a deeper level than just what's happening in this moment, but I don't know how to express what might be going wrong without bringing up something that feels like it's not your business. And it's tough to feel like I'm just this burden and this difficult person, and knowing that I am, but like not wanting to be, but like trying to be like manageable with it, but like also getting upset with myself. So then I'm just in a guilt cycle and trying so hard to show up and meet expectations when it's like I'm not getting what I need. And so what I tend to resist tends to be a few things. I tend to resist, I guess, like my humanity, especially at work. It's hard for me to own my truth fully and be proud of it and express it in a way that feels comfortable, especially because like we use Slack at my job, and they have a lot of like public channels, and there's so much judgment from people and so many, oh, I remember seeing you post this and you did that. And it's just like, it feels like one of those things where it's like forever. Like, yeah, I could probably delete things, but it's also like, this is just another exhausting layer to deal with, where it's like, now I have to post on a public channel to deal with things that like I don't understand, and I'm asking questions, and now I feel super stupid, and I feel extra judged because all they do is freaking judge me. Oh, you're so emotional. Oh, you seem like you don't belong in this company. Oh, you don't seem like you know what you're doing. No, I freaking don't. I just started. I had a time off, and like, you guys don't have a structure for understanding this crap system. Like, of course it's tough. Like, I'm struggling, and I don't know how to express my struggle. And when I try to get help, no one's available. It's just like, it just feels like just I'm going in circles and spinning my wheels. And for what? For a paycheck? Like, I feel like I can do better elsewhere. But I'm like, it's just tough. So dealing with myself is a challenge, because I know I'm like an annoying person. I know I can be difficult. I know I question things. I know I'm very much not agreeable, but I try my best to act like I am, just so that people will leave me alone. Like, my main thing is, how can I get this person to leave me alone as fast as possible? So I try not to just say things to get people to leave me alone, but sometimes it feels like the only option. But on a deeper level in my life, the thing that I tend to, and I don't even know if it's resist, but what I chose to do growing up, I did not want to be the person who blamed my parents for how I turned out. So I knew that after a certain point, it's like, you know, when I'm in high school and, you know, living under my mom's roof and she has like authority over me, it's like, Mom, I can't believe you won't let me go out with friends, and you don't let me do this, and how could you not let me have a boyfriend and explore, and why, when this person does something bad, you just say kick them out your life and you deal with it after you graduate, instead of helping me develop the skills to deal with these things and want to get myself out of it. So for me, like, I've always been very logical in that sense. And so, but I was like, okay, like, there's going to come a point in time where I hit 18 and I cannot, or even move out of my mom's house, because I was 17 when I graduated and then I turned 18. But when I left the house, I knew, I was like, okay, I cannot blame my parents for how I am, because now I have the choice to develop these skills. Now it's on me to be the woman that I want to be and create these opportunities. And the theme of my life that tends to be recurring is feeling like second fiddle, feeling like sloppy seconds, feeling like a launching point. That one's kind of the worst one. So it's like, from my childhood, my dad would have these girlfriends and they would have kids, and if their kids would ask for something that I asked for, there were times where they would get it. And I remember one time I wanted to sit in the front middle seat because it was a car with a bucket seat and I wanted to sit there, and I asked first and the other girl got it. And then I'm in the back seat, in the middle, in the back. So it's the worst seat in the car between these like two big guys, and it's just like, oh, this sucks. So I'm just upset and bothered and annoyed because, like, yet again, I don't get what I want. So my dad, like hits my lips and was like, don't pout. Wow. So I get in trouble because I didn't get what I want and I'm expressing my frustration. So I can't even express my emotions. Like, I'm not allowed to be sensitive or emotional or pout or be upset. I just have to be like, oh, yeah, it's okay. It's fine that you got what I wanted. I'm just going to be fine here. Fine. So fine. And it's like, no, I'm not fine. Which happens a lot. I've learned how to, like, cut off my emotional expression. And so, like, sometimes that's when I shut down. Sometimes it's just, actually a lot of the times that's why I shut down. Because, like, there are just things that happen. And, like, I guess from, like, habit, it's like this weird thing happens and I'm just like, out. I'm walking away. I'm just shutting down. I don't want to talk. I just need space to, like, process whatever that was. And then the launching point, definitely since, like, high school, there's someone that had a crush on, and this person ended up dating someone else. So it was like, we hang out, and within a week, he has a girlfriend, and it's someone else. And it's just like, that's weird. How does that work out? That's fun. And it hurts, it's frustrating, and it's like a pattern. Not only with me and that person in particular, because, like, we've had this same experience over and over again. Like, it's just, like, on repeat. But there are other people where it's like, there was this guy, and I didn't even really want to, like, date him necessarily, but I liked hanging out with him. And then it was like, there was just, like, this moment where he's like, I found someone, and I'm dating someone. And, like, part of me was like, I'm not surprised. I tend to be, like, it's like, if you hang out with me as a man, possibly as a woman too. I don't know. Actually, it did happen with a woman, but I digress. So if you hang out with me and we have a fun, intimate, whirlwind romance moment, it's very likely that within a few weeks or days or months, I don't know, it seems like these people end up in these relationships that last, like, at least a year, if not more. So part of me is like, I don't know why I keep ending up in this position of, like, lifting people into these amazing relationships and they're so happy and I'm just, like, single yet again. Not that I'm mad, but it's like, I want someone to be cute with me. I want to feel like I'm someone's one. I want to, like, have that meshing and thing going on. But I do know that there's some fundamental sense of just, like, inadequacy and brokenness and wrongness within me that, like, I've never, like, I don't believe we're broken as people. So it's hard for me to feel like, I feel like I'm broken. But at the same time, it's like, we're human. It's challenging. Like, there are these chasms within ourselves that we're trying to figure out. And a lot of the times it's tough. It's like, what is it about me that makes me attractive and fun for a moment, but, like, I don't seem to be fun for a series of moments? It's like, or I'm fun for a series of moments, but more as, like, side chick than I am as, like, girlfriend, wife. And part of me is like, I'm really offended by this. I would really like to be a girlfriend or a wife or just a partner. Like, choose me. And then another part of me is like, whoa, just kidding. Don't choose me. I don't want to be your girlfriend. It sounds like a fun opportunity filled with stress and frustration and keeping up with the other person and being a crazy person in general. So, like, crazier than I already am, because I'm aware that, like, I'm absurd and illogical at times. And that's usually my emotional side. But I have this awareness where it's like, okay, we're being crazy right now. How can I step back and get what I need so I can come in and just do the thing? And lately I'm not good at it, but I think it's just with all this, these summits that I'm going to and this work that I'm doing on myself, it's giving me an increased awareness of how important it is for me to prioritize myself. And with prioritizing myself, it's like, this tool does not work for me. I am not going to use it the way that you think I should use it. Like, I do need to find, like, a happy medium so that we can, like, align and be, like, okay. But at the same time, it's just like, I keep bending over backwards and sacrificing my peace of mind. And my peace of mind is kind of low-key fragile. Like, I have this fear that I'm just going to go off the deep end, lose my mind, And then it's going to be like, now I have like 2 weeks out of work. I have another diagnosis. I have these bills that's not paid. I have this mess to clean up because once again, like I couldn't keep it together, and whatever triggers it is like went off, and now I'm like, you know, fully diagnosed as whatever and dealing with like those challenges and struggles. And then another part of me is like, well, if I feel like I'm on the cusp, why not find a good professional who can support me through this time? And then another part of me is like, girl, you got like S Factor and therapy, and you got a coach, and you got like, you doing too much. Like, just calm down. Just breathe. Be at peace. It's going to be okay. And I feel like just that feeling of feeling alone, feeling unwanted, feeling unlovable, feeling like I'm broken and wrong, feeling like I'm broken and wrong because of the things other people tell me and not necessarily how I feel about myself. Because it's like mentally, I know I am an amazing person. I know I'm like super smart. I know I'm gorgeous. I know I'm blessed. I know it, but I don't feel it. And there have been moments where I do feel it and I feel deeply connected, but I really just want to be there for those people who have had those challenges where growing up you felt like you didn't belong, or like, you know, I had divorced parents, and so there was a feeling that each parent hated the other parent, but they would argue with each other through me. So it would be like, you're this like your mom, you're that like your dad, you're this like your dad, you're that like your mom. And it was just like, there's just so much frustration and hatred and rage between the two of them. It's like, how dare you tell me you love me when you treat me like crap? How dare you act like this is loving behavior towards my other parent, towards the people who made me who I am, towards my loving mom who is like silly and goofy and fun and can bring a smile to anyone's face when they're down, to my like super sensitive loving dad who just wants to protect his babies and doesn't know how to express himself in a way that is loving and soft without feeling like it's, you know, questioning his manhood. Like, both of my parents are super generous people and they do the best that they can. And I love them so much. And I've learned things from them that don't empower me. And that's not to say that, like, you know, it's their fault. It's not. They did the best they could with what tools they had. And I've done the best I could with the tools that I had. So I was learning and reading and trying to figure things out. And I've been on this journey since I was a kid. When I was in the 5th grade, I remember it was a particularly bad summer with my dad, and he was super angry at the end of it. And then I come home, and then my mom is also super angry with me. And it just felt like, why was I born? What in the world is my purpose? Like, why did God choose to create me? Like, is this just a sick joke where I just was never supposed to be born and somehow I got unlucky enough to be born and like not get the memo? Because it's like, there's just this feeling of like misery and frustration where it's just like, I just have never felt like I belonged, and I've never felt safe, and I've never felt at home. And I feel like I'm always trying to appease other people and make them feel okay, especially knowing that, like, as a Black woman who is strong, beautiful, intelligent, and educated, that people might feel threatened by me. And I have people like literally just be like, you're intimidating. And it's just like, well, you're bothering me, so I'm glad you're intimidated. Now, are we done with this exchange or not? Because, like, I have stuff to do, and your whiteness, and this is a particular incident where this guy is like introducing himself, shakes my hand, and holds it. Like, holds me back from going to my destination. And I'm like, that's a little weird, red flag. And I'm trying to get somewhere, but like, how dare you think you can just hold me back? You're cute enough, I'll let it slide, but no. And then by the end of our encounter, he's like, you should be able to afford to send $20 a month to starving kids because you're buying yourself lunch. No, we don't go there. Like, I need to eat. And yeah, I need to eat. And I have bills that you don't know about, and I'm doing things that you don't know about, and you don't know how my charitable giving is set up. So it's like, don't try to guilt me into like paying, because I will gladly say no, which I did. I was like, no, like, stop. And I turned around, walked away. And as I walked away, I kicked his Red Bull over, which I love Red Bull. And I was very glad. I'm like, that's what you get. Don't question people like that. That is not how you sell. That is not how you like touch people's hearts. Cause like throughout the whole exchange, I'm just like, there's just something sleazy about you. And I don't feel like you actually care about your mission. And you are not approaching this in a way that makes me want to give you money. If anything, I feel like you owe me after this exchange, but kicking over your Red Bull was satisfying enough. So we're good, I guess. Not really, but it's okay. I'll get over it. But being there for people who feel like they don't belong and there's these challenges and struggles in their lives that, you know, it's hard to have people to go to. And I'm a weird one. I just vent to anyone who will listen to me. And, you know, that's not always the best thing, because then all of a sudden people are giving unsolicited advice and they think they know the answers. And it's just like, it's life. It's a journey. I'll get over it eventually. But for those people who just feel like they don't belong, feel like they're different, feel outcast and left aside, feel like you just can't get what you want, I am with you. I've been there. I am still there sometimes. Like, it just is so scary to be in a world where it just feels like no one understands and no one sees you. And I would just want to be there for people to see them and acknowledge how great they are and how far they've come. Because it's so easy to forget those moments of strength, those moments of pride, those moments of love and joy. And it's easy to like mark our lives by those failed moments that just feel so strong and powerful and defining. But those aren't our defining moments. There's so much more to you than your bad moments. And there's so much more to all of us. So I just want to share more about my burgeoning mission, because it's not my intention to just tell stories or be entertaining. I would really like for people to feel like they're connected and they're seen and they're heard and they're valued, because you matter so much. And I may not know the reason for your existence, but there's a purpose, and who knows how many people you're influencing by just showing up and being alive. So thank you. I hope to hear, please comment and let me know what you're interested in hearing more about and learning about. I'm likely going to do things around like the metaphysical and manifestation and sexuality and all sorts of things that I feel can empower us to own our narratives and get more in touch with ourselves. Because as we learn ourselves and what we need, we can show up more fully in the world. So we can live and be free and just stop being so worried about what other people think about us. So have a wonderful day.